In a highly contagious pandemic where a large percentage of the population is infected to where they become stark raving lunatic killers, you decide to put an unknown liquid on your hands to feel it and smell it? Like, I understand we established that they are carriers and are immune to the infection's rabies-like symptoms, but they probably didn't know that at this point. What if the spitter was a thing at that point and he just dipped his hand in stomach acid? What if they weren't immune? Bill just basically screwed himself and Francis in the process. Although Francis doesn't seem to mind as much since he smears it all over his favorite vest and proceeds to touch his shotgun more with it. Please don't rub your eyes, guys. That's how you get pink eye. Green eye. When you randomly start hearing crying in a closed-off room, I know it's moral to want to go help, but that crying does not sound natural. Do not go trying to... He's going to try to help. And they're going into a pitch-black room, whispering out hello. Totally great idea considering the situation. Lightning magically lights up the room enough for Bill to see the witch as a threat, and not some millennial hussy who needs to cover up. Bill very loudly whispers at Zoe to shut her lights off, which apparently didn't reach the ears of Lewis, who was standing right outside. A horde appears either because of the lightning strike or because of the director being a dick. Regardless, this causes Lewis to rush in where Zoe and Bill are to announce their arrival while fully shining his light into the room they entered quietly. This door doesn't break in one swing. The witch never breaks down the door. The team actually sticks together? Everyone is facing one direction. Like, I get the fact the majority of the infected are coming from the alleyway, but with all the commotion and gunfire being made, they would think to have at least one person keeping an eye on their six. Francis kills a smoker a story high with a pump shotgun in one blast. Like, I know the shotgun accuracy in this game is ridiculous, but does this shotgun have slugs in it or something? Who needs medical treatment when you have moral support? You're risking breaking your wrist from shotgun recoil to look badass in front of an army veteran. This.
Merry Christmas.
It takes a little too long for the zombie infected to realize he's been shot by a gun. Is there double stacked AC units in the game? I don't think so. A large explosion just went off in the alleyway and the helicopter pilot doesn't hear it or see the flash? Bummer. The hunter doesn't give two shits about the big giant metal bird that just zoomed over it. Like, I know it's a predatorial type hunting infected, but something that loud with a giant light would distract it in some way, right? The hunter is leaping around wall to wall without screaming bloody murder. Yet another trailer with unrealistic gameplay elements. Lewis, you literally just went into a pitch black room where your friends were holding a rescue operation. Now you're running out into the middle of the street on your own, yelling at the top of your lungs. I highly doubt a chopper is going to be able to hear your voice from street level while its blades are spinning. I was about to take a sin off for this really cool shot of the stoplight turning red before the pounce, but then realized, would a traffic light be working properly with the city in a state of disarray like this? Would the Department of Transportation in the area just make all lights flashing red or yellow for drivers to more efficiently evacuate the city? Like, I know it's short notice, but if the power grid was also failing, it would also force the traffic lights to start blinking until a technician came by. I will say though, even the light is even telling you to stop your asinine lone wolf yelling idea. That car alarm is white, not red. Didn't Valve realize only red cars have alarms in this cinematic universe? Gosh! Speaking of cinematic universe, now that he isn't owned by Sony anymore and isn't needed in Marvel, it looks like Spider-Man is making his roof-hanging debut in the Left 4 Dead universe. The sheer force of someone jumping on you 3 stories high would be enough to break some kind of bones at least. The area that Lewis was standing at was the left side of the middle car in the middle of the street here, but after he is pounced, he and the hunter are suddenly curbside in between the 2 cars, just so it was more convenient for the hunter to die on a car alarm. Only Zoe came to help? Where are Francis and Bill? Did no one think to follow Lewis or at least keep an eye on him after he carelessly left the group? Lewis's shirt is completely unscathed. No rips, tears, blood, or any discernible damage to his white shirt. Didn't a hooded fellow with razor-sharp claws just tear open his chest? I would expect Ed or Lewis's mother to come in and say, "You got red on you," after a scuffle like that. When did killing any special infected on a car alarm besides the boomer set off the alarm? Is every traffic light here red? Is no one allowed to legally drive their car in this state of emergency without risk of being pulled over? So infected are coming from literally every angle and no one is thinking to start shooting or moving, just spectating. When are you going to take action? Once 30 to 40 of them are dogpiling you? So this hulking behemoth launches a car into the air towards you and your group, and all you can do is mean mug it as it whizzes over Zoe's head. Thanks, Francis. Communication isn't necessary or anything when you're this badass. No one in this group stops to look at the sound of a literal car getting smashed violently in the air? The game plan takes this long to come out. You didn't think to ask these questions while literally 200 zombies were about to rip you apart? You didn't have any problems rushing in to alert Bill and Zoe or going off on your own to get the attention of the helicopter? You're just now asking questions, Lewis? Come on, man. Why are you walking with your back against the fence? The car only took out about half the infected that were behind you. You still have the left half going after you. These aren't slow-moving zombies either, bro. How long are a couple dozen of these infected gonna take to run 15 more feet? Just a few scenes ago, they were right on the verge of reaching you, but now the tank, who launched a damn car from a few hundred yards back, is suddenly catching up with them? Like, I understand that would have thinned out the herd a bit, but not the entire squad. I mean, there are a number of infected already in front of him sprinting, but how the hell did he catch up to them? In that horde of infected from earlier, none were conveniently in the alleyway where y'all just came from. I just realized this, they never reload. Those guns have a classic case of infinite clip action movie syndrome, or ICAMs. Francis, what use will you with the shotgun do against a literal meat wall? You literally just stared down the tank, literally flattening 2 infected. I know you're a badass trying to provide cover for your friends and everything, but maybe you should be hauling ass up that ladder too? It's hard to tell, did the tank chuck a common infected at Francis here, or did he straight up gut punch Francis up to a brick wall? Because if he did punch him, I mean, he literally breaks the brick wall next to him not seconds later. You're gonna have some broken ribs after that situation, brother. So the tank is able to jump a full story to reach the fire escape and chase after the survivors? I don't remember that being a feature for the tank. If it were for the tank, it would be much more terrifying to face them. On that note, the tank obviously skips leg day, so how does he get enough power in his initial jump to leap up that high? In this shot here, you can see him not using his arms to propel himself from the ground. There's no way legs that disproportionate would be able to lift a top-heavy body like that high. The tank does the most dramatic Donkey Kong climb up this fire escape. Careful, Arnold Schwarzenegger, some of that metal might be rusty, and you'll need to get a tetanus shot. Don't want to get lockjaw or any... You know what? Never mind. Don't get a jaw, that's right. Yes, Zoe, all 3 of your comrades have safely made it to the roof, but let's stay on the metal fire escape this undead Hulk is literally folding like paper as you shoot at it with the weakest firepower you have at your disposal. Dramatic last-minute jump to be caught by the big tough man. I warned you about the metal, Arnold. All that noise didn't attract any infected? That was literally a screaming Terminator falling into a pit of broken clanging metal. There had to have been at least one common that heard that.
I can't believe we made it!
Son, we just crossed the street. Let's not throw a party till we're out of the city.
Bill would be great to do a zombie sins. There is literally a horde of infected in the street that must have been temporarily deaf to what just occurred.
I'm a boomer. 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 Oh, I'm a boomer.
Enough! You are all of you beneath me. I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Hello, is there anybody in there?
My germs.
Hey, how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear.
You know there's zombies on the prowl, and it's terror time again.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Buddha.
Buddha who?
Buddha the spread for me, won't you?
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
I had never seen anything so beautiful in my life. She was like an angel.
Take my hand, off to Neverland.
Would you like a schmuck and a pancake?
A what?
A schmuck and a pancake.
Smoking's bad, okay? Because smoking can lead to all kinds of health problems like cancer. Okay, let me tell you something about cancer. What? Holy shit!
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Must go faster.
Don't smoke.
I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the group and ourselves. I hope we pass the audition.